Hello everyone, I am Tessellating Hexagons, diving into Acorn Forest in Yoshi's Crafted World to carry on our mission to clean up all of the outstanding stuff, and by my estimates, I think we have this episode and maybe 2 others, and then we'll have all of the souvenirs, which it felt like a daunting task, but we're nearly there, and I wasn't entirely sure immediately because sometimes the hints are rather vague as to which level you need to go into to find the things, but okay. So we're here in Weighing Acorns looking for an organic mouse, which is just a bizarre description for a thing to look for, so I didn't really know what I was looking for, to the point that even when I found it, I didn't realize I was staring it in the face for a solid moment. Similar to the apple trees in the last episode, this is one of those ones where it's so big and in your face that you won't even realize that it's there unless you realize that it's there. I experienced both. Also, we come back to this level 2 more times this video, and every single time I hit that stack of acorns because it's just really satisfying. Anyway, look! Giant thing in the background! I was expecting it to be a lot smaller than that. So, yep, that's an organic mouse, apparently. It's, you know, balsamic vinegar with erotic potatoes, as someone on Come Dine With Me once described one of their meals. Like, did you mean balsamic and exotic? But then what makes a potato exotic? What would be an erotic potato, for that matter? Anyway, a rabbit rock. And this is another one of those missions, similar to the previous episode, where it and a later mission feel like they should be in the opposite order. Because the rabbit rock that we're looking for is, I'd say, about 2/3 of the way through the level, and there's something else, another animal-themed rock that we find much sooner than that. And in fact, I accidentally find it during this one as well, right there. I even throw an egg at it just to be like, hey, I found a thing, and the game's like, great, I don't care. So, remember that was there. We'll come back for it, because, as I've said before, you can't get souvenirs out of order. Anyway, there's the rabbit rock, hiding behind the chompy face boys. But that's not their name as a species, that's just their cool band name. They're the chompy face boys. They're gonna bite some fresh beats, yo. They're here to challenge Pump Toasty for the SoundCloud crown. Do people still use SoundCloud? I would hope so. I genuinely don't know. I know so little about just that whole side of the universe. Anyway, Weighing Acorns, 5 Shy Guy Acorns, 4 collie birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree. There's the first one there. Generally speaking, we're looking for small objects that are easily obscured by the background. So we're here for a fun time, and on at least one run of this level, and I want to say it's this one, I do fumble a little bit with the scales here, because obviously there's an acorn in the background there that kind of looks like it has a tiny Shy Guy mask on it, but it doesn't count, so it's probably just, I don't know, artistic style. The real one is up here. So I've fumbled on that sort of bridge seesaw for a lot longer than I ought to have done, to the point that you can clearly see it in the speed-up montage, which it's still haunting my commentary now, even a solid, 30 seconds after it was relevant. Hey, hitting the stack once again, because you gotta. In the foreground here, easy to miss, because it looks like you should have to get under and to the left of that daisy platform, and no, you can just hit it from the foreground. Now, there's the 4th one. The 5th one is right at the end of the level. It's one of those, what I would describe as playing with your emotions souvenirs, because you need to do the entirety of the level, including reconstructing the bus stop, in order to get to where it is, which is fair enough, I guess. I mean, you know, if you're gonna hide 5 things, you're gonna want them to be at, like, regular intervals throughout the level, and the end should be fair game, and just like in the real world, buses do not exist unless there is a bus stop for you to wait at for them to arrive at. Face, eyes, words. Anyway, it's here at the end. You can see it in the foreground, but first, Kern, and then Acorn. And I actually chose to keep playing, because I thought, well, the end of the level's right there, might as well just claim it. I don't think it gives you any extra coins for doing that. I just wanted the satisfaction of, well, I'm next to the goal, I might as well take it. Also, Tangerine absolutely slaying in the Nintendo Labo piano costume. I actually do own the cartridge for, I believe, the Nintendo Labo thing that has the piano as part of it, but I got it secondhand for, like, £1 or thereabouts, so I don't actually have the cardboard that goes with it. Now, as I showed earlier in this very video, the bear rock. You'd be forgiven for thinking, you should find this first and then the rabbit rock, but nope, just because it's earlier in the level doesn't mean to say it's earlier in the running order, as it were. And inside here, behind the coins, behind the piece of scenery, It's like that Yoshi cookie barb from last time, but a bit less devious, I find, because, like, the game straight up tells you it's hidden in a hidden little nook, so go and look for it, whereas the 5th Yoshi cookie barb last time was just, there's nothing here, whoops, there's something here. So, now, I like this particular mission for no reason other than we're looking for a wooden lion. Like, you know, yeah. And it feels a little bit similar to the organic mouse, just because it's big, and it's in the background, and it's sort of, its presence is so striking that you wouldn't even think to think about it, if that makes any sense whatsoever. Now, you don't actually need to do any of this whatsoever, but obviously, in the moment, I didn't know that, but I did know that, hey, there's a slide here, so I can get back out quickly. The things I learned from playing this level forwards before playing it backwards. It's on the second sort of elevator tramway thing, so we've passed the first, this one's the second, and there in the background is, he boy, he the boy ever. And that's not even me assuming. The wooden lion has a wooden mane, so you know he boy. Now there's an idea. Transgender lions on testosterone growing a mane. I think that would work. I know that testosterone determines the colour of a lion's fur, at the very least, like darker means more testosterone, so why wouldn't it happen? Anyway, the big collecty time of this world, because there's actually only 6 missions in Acorn Forest, and this is the last one of them, so we're looking for 5 blue mushrooms. It's sort of easy to forget, like, despite it being a Yoshi game, you know, oh yeah, this is technically the Mario universe. Why aren't we seeing more mushrooms? But, you know, these aren't even trying to be Mario-style mushrooms, it's just, mushrooms exist, dude, and I am fond of mushrooms sort of from an aesthetic standpoint. Like, I'm by no means a professional photographer, but most of the time when I take my camera out with me, it's because I saw a cool mushroom while I was on a walk, and I wanted to take a photo of it. And I did that earlier this year. And also, I tried to get that Poochie Pup, failed several times and thought, okay, brother, you can just drown then. Because I'm not here for poo-poo pups, I'm here for mushies. And there's the last mushie, the final mushie. Doodle-doo, doodle-doo, doodle-doo. Copyright that, I dare you. Anyway, Acorn Forest completed, which, spoilers, the game hasn't told us to our faces yet, but yeah, there are only 6 missions here, and there you go, fresh out of requests, therefore,
Whirly-woos in Acorn Forest.
And no stinking hellebores this time, which, by the way, is spelled Hellebore. It feels like it should be Hella, but it's not. Anyway, there were 6 missions there, so I'm going to skip ahead to an area that has 10. So we're doing 16 in this video, rather than, like, you know, it makes more sense than having, oh, an area with 6 and an area with 8, and then some other time we'll do an area with 9 and an area with 10, because that would make the episodes weird lengths. Anyway, so, exploring the animal kingdom. We've been told to keep our eyes peeled just after being chased by a rhinono, so even the game is saying to my face, hey Tess, it's not a dinosaur, why did you ever think it was a dinosaur? Well, it'll always be a dinosaur to me, damn it! And we've already passed 2 things that we will have to come back and collect later, but obviously you can't collect these souvenirs out of order, so no worries. If you didn't notice what they were, that's fine, the game doesn't expect you to. But yes, I stand by the insistence that this rhinoceros is, in fact, a dinosaur. It could be both. I mean, rhinoceros, am I right? No, I'm not. It's rhinoceros, C-E-R-O-S, not rhinoceros. I feel miserable for anyone who ever made that mistake. Anyway, Orange Gator, Orangeade, Gatorade. The pieces are there, make puns at your own convenience. And according to the annotations I've left for myself, the next mission is also in the Animal Kingdom. But we're going to be there for a lot less time this time, looking for a roosting tree. It's on the flip side, near where we just were. And because we went about 2/3 of the way through the level on the flip side, that means it's going to be, no, on the forward side, it's going to be 1/3 of the way through on the flip side. So, we won't be here for all that long, just charge ahead, don't go very far, we don't even need to rebuild the bridge, but I didn't know whether or not, I'd sort of forgotten what the end of this level looked like, so I sort of poked around here just in case it was there. It's not, it's actually just to the down of here. In the background, there's a tree with lower birds in, it's a roosting tree, the silhouette is kind of giving cartoon broccoli, and I think that's a compliment. Also, how has this episode been going for 10 minutes already? Or, well, just shy of 10 minutes. It does not feel like it. I really am getting into a rhythm with these videos. Like, I was so worried these would turn out tedious, and yet I feel like I've hit my stride. Now then, next up on the docket, 6 snails in Hoppin higher. I had forgotten how much I don't enjoy this level. So for all my saying, oh, I thought these videos would be tedious, and they're not in my personal opinion, and mine is the only opinion that counts. I don't enjoy this level because there's a lot of waiting around for that snake thing to come up and come down and breathe in and breathe out, hands up, hands down. I don't remember which song that's even from. And there's a little bit of stress involved as well, like, oh no, the snake is gonna get me, even though I like a good snake. Like, I've been playing the Indigo disc, the DLC Part 2 for Scarlet and Violet, and spoilers, but all previous starter Pokemon are in there, which means that Snivy is in there, which means Sneeve! I can access Best Boy, and at the time of recording I have, because I'm grinding up experience to fill out the Pokedex to the best of my abilities. And, it takes a long time to get the necessary BP to actually get the starter Pokemon to spawn. I can only assume that the multiplayer missions give better BP rewards. Anyway, not relevant. That was our 6th snail. It was less fun to play than it is to speed through it in post, I can assure you that. But, like, it still wasn't bad. I do still enjoy treasure hunts. The treasure hunt levels are objectively the best part of Sonic Adventure 2. So, anyway, this seems timely. We're heading back into that same level, but on the flip side, and we're looking for a Phenicopter.
The Phenicopter, the bird, the pink bird that stays on one leg.
Flamingo. No.
You know, a Phenicopter. Except Phenicopter is actually, well, I think that's an anglicization of it, but that is the Italian name for a flamingo, so it's fine. I say this because I'm recording this literally less than an hour after Vito Coppola won Strictly Come Dancing 2023. Again, spoilers if you've not been paying attention, but by the time this video goes up, it will have been old news, but, yes. Ellie and Vito were my personal favourite. I voted for them in the final. They earned it, I'm happy for them. Huzzah, hayuk, hajimble. Now, getting back on task. We're looking for orange papier-mâché, except actually you want papier-mâché oranges. We don't just want general papier-mâché crafts that happen to be orange, we want oranges that are made of... You get the idea. And this is stressful because we're looking for not 1 but 5 small objects in an auto-scroller, and I will say, don't worry if you don't get that first one on your first try, because I'd quite forgotten, but, okay, this is missable, and I think the next one is as well, but that first one, because we do a little lap here, you actually go back around where it was a second time, as you can see. It doesn't actually respawn, this was 2 takes spliced together, but I wanted to demonstrate, yeah, we'll go with that excuse, I wanted to demonstrate that if you miss it the first time, you can still come back around. Anyway, here's the 4th one, behind a tree. I missed it, then I hit it, and then the 5th one is just behind these bushes in the background here. I saw it coming, so I started throwing stuff at the bushes, sort of in anticipation of it becoming available, because I didn't want to risk missing it, because this level is so slow being played at normal speed, because it's auto-scroller, so if you miss the last one, you'd have to restart the level and go through the entire level at the level's native speed, and we have 3 more missions in that level as well. Now, before we get to that, we have, I'd say, this is a fairly kind mission, because it's the flip side, so it's a lot less slow to get through than going through this level forwards ways, because you don't have to worry about the snake. And I was quite confident to just blitz through this level without thinking too much, because the Blockafeller person said, keep looking until the bitter end, which in my mind translates as, the thing you're looking for is at the end of the level. Or, well, the beginning of the level, but it's the flip side, so you start at the end and go to the beginning. And so, on that basis, I thought, right, well, I'm just going to run all the way through the level, and sure enough, just when the camera turns, there's the tiger hiding behind the end-beginning, the begin-ending, bit after 4. Knives Out was a good film. You'll understand why I make that reference if you've seen the film. And also, Glass Onion, why is it out on DVD? I've not seen it on DVD anywhere. I would like to see it, I don't have Netflix. Anyway, we're heading back to the Animal Kingdom. And this time we're looking for 5 twisty red trees, because what the hell else, or indeed what the helse would you call them? Which I think was approximately Charlie Brooker's reaction to discovering that Rumbledy Thumps is a dish that exists. No further thoughts, Your Honor. Anyway, there's our first twisty red tree. Little bit of magic pixel hunting, and not for the last time in this video. Although, it may or may not tickle your crumpets to learn that this is the last time we're coming to this level, sort of. Also, not me missing the question mark cloud with basically all of my eggs there. Frustration. We do have to come back here one more time, but not for a full-blown mission, because, spoilers for things yet to come. Much like with the caramel block signboards back in Big Paper Peak, this is another area. Also, you do have to duck down. You can't hit that tree from up above where the checkpoint is. You have to duck back down into the danger zone in order to hit it. Again, Magic Pixel needs to be in between the koalas. You can't be safe and up here. We come back here because there is a mission that requires us to look in every level in Rumble Jungle. So we will be back to that. And I'm glad that the last Twisty tree is after this bridge, because there is no way that I wouldn't get this far in the level and repair the bridge anyway. But you do have to, because the last Twisty tree is up there. Even if it wasn't, I'd be like, but no, I'm invested in making these rhinoceros dinosaurs happy. I don't want to leave the level and have them be sad, because I get soppy and emotional like that, because I love people like their things and things like their people. Because my neurochemistry is 50 flavors of balked. Now then, a mystery animal. So, once again, we're heading back to the jungle tour, which means tolerating the slow pace of the auto-scrolling once again. And mystery animal. This threw me a little bit when I received the request, because I'm thinking, my dude, you're showing me the silhouette of a giraffe. So unless there's some sort of half giraffe, half something else chimera that we're looking for, it's not that much of a mystery. What they mean is, we're showing you a silhouette and telling you you're looking for an animal, and that's all we're telling you. We know it's a giraffe, we're just not going to tell you giraffe because we want you to sort of play shadow hockey, as it were, and I remembered it from one of my earlier runs through this level. I remember seeing its open mouth being like, ah, you know, because giraffes go bare. It's leaning to bite a tree. And if you've been paying attention to the chapter segmenting on this video, which you'd have no reason to, it's just a little bit of extra metadata that I like to add, because rather that than YouTube's automated chapter segments, because that's silly, but we're looking for a second mystery animal, and I actually collected it on that first run-through that you just saw just now, because I thought it looked incongruous. And indeed, it is incongruous. It's, I'd say, easier to spot. Well, I don't know, the giraffe is fairly easy to spot because of its mouth going bah, as previously stated, but once again we need to ride around the loop and all the time that takes, and you can see how long it takes because of the timer in the top right corner, and it feels a lot longer than a minute 20. But anyway, as we go downhill, monkey! Or perhaps gorilla? Not easy to tell because we can't see whether or not it has a tail, so it's unclear whether it's a monkey or an ape, but either way, it's a mystery animal and we've collected it. So, huzzah, we have our 276th smiley flower. And now, zebras. One in each course, and much like with the caramel block signs, I'd passively noticed the zebras, but it never occurred to me that there's one in each course, and so now we have to go and find them. Results are mixed. The first one in exploring the Animal Kingdom, as I said, this is our last visit here for real this time. It's fairly near the beginning, just hiding there behind the Rhinono situation. Conversely, we have to go back to the forwards way round of Hoppin Higher, so not the flip side, and go through the entire level. Which isn't that bad. I wanted to, you know, have some hustle in my bustle, and I have to go through the entire level, and like, I'd already been through the entire level once when looking for snails, but that's me being overly dramatic. It's fine. Just get through the entire level, and then when you can see the star sign that says, hey, look, the level's nearly over, you'll know you're in the right place. So, there's a checkpoint, we have to get through the froggy bit, and because we know that the phenicopter was here, that means that we're near the beginning of the flip side, which is the end of the normal way around, and there you go. Basically lined up with the star sign from this perspective, there's the zebra. And finally, one last visit to the jungle tour, but this time, we're going forwards ways, so the score-getty game is in play, and I felt the need to just be extra and try to get as big of a score as I could, even though you can't actually cash in your score if you leave the level prematurely after finding a souvenir, but it's fine. It was something to do while I was waiting for the zebra to appear. And I don't even know how this compares to my score when I first did this level, and I don't really care enough to check. Anyway, behind the swarm of monkeys, behind some bushes in the background, there's the final zebra. Diddle-it-do, diddle-it-do. And with that, we have collected everything in Rumble Jungle. What more can I say? We're done. We are eligible for twirly-woos. At this point, we're just accepting our victory speech of an Oscar of a sentence, so...
Twirly-woos in Rumble Jungle.
And still no stinking hellebores. So I shall be so incensed as to declare that I have been and will continue to be tessellating hexagons, and next time, not outer orbit, I think somewhere earlier. Chilly Hot Isles, let's go with that. See you then.